Hi everyone, today I've been servicing a Type 6 protector lamp, a miner's lamp for Dennis because the striker wheel wasn't turning and we both agreed that it's probably had a bit of flint stuck in there. So I've stripped it all down, I've given it all a clean with just kitchen roll, cotton wool buds, an old toothbrush, and some methylated spirits just to get all the gunk off. I've intentionally not done anything to get the patina off because, well, it looks good, it looks original, and I didn't want to do anything that would affect that for Dennis. So I've just given it a clean, get all the grease and marks and stuff off, and we'll put it back together. So the problem with this was inside here, where the flint and the spring goes, there was an old bit of flint that was stuck in there and it was jammed up against the striker wheel, and he didn't have anything to get the cap off. Now I've got the proper tool to get the cap off the top, which looks like a flathead screwdriver with a notch cut out of it. So that allowed me to get the top off, and then once I'd done that, I, from the inside, poked the old flint out, and the new flint I'll be putting in is a bit smaller than the original flint, so that it won't get jammed. It does mean it'll need replacing faster because it'll wear out quicker, but yeah, I think it's a good idea to do it this way rather than have a thick one in that gets jammed. Okay, so let's get the thing back together. So the first thing we're going to do is put this back on the base. Oh, what I've also done is I've replaced the wick. The wick was just long enough in the short position. You adjust there's an adjustable at the bottom. If you turn that, that goes up and down, exposing more or less of the wick. The more the wick you've got, the bigger the flame, the more fuel used up, but also sometimes that means that the fuel inside, because I use Coleman's fuel, so that will strike when you ignite it with the flint. If it's too much exposed, it fills up inside the lamp. It's a bit like flooding your engine on a car. There's not enough oxygen and air in there to allow you to get the lamp working. So that's a tip for you. Only have as much exposed as you need just to get it lit. Anything more is a bit of a waste. So put that on top there. Now I'm now going to put the striker wheel on. That fits on the top there. Now that's it, that's on there. Now I'm going to put the top on. Now, when you tighten up the cap that goes on here, I know of people who've got hold of the cog underneath as a way of trying to catch hold of the spindle. The trouble is, I don't know if you can see, there's a different colour in there, because I believe it's just soldered in place. So it's actually a weak point, so it's very easy if you get onto that to break it. So the way to put it on is, let's see if that'll stay on there, that'll go on there. And what I'm going to do is use a pair of pliers just to hold the striker wheel in place, which will hold the spindle in place, and then I can tighten this up. It doesn't have to be really tight, it just has to do its job. Yeah, that seems to be fine. Now, next thing is putting the flint in, and then the spring and the cap. Now, I think the easiest way to do that is to put the spring inside the cap, and then if I press down on the cap, should be able to turn it, get it on. It doesn't need to be in a lot, just needs to be enough so there's some friction against the wheel. Yeah, that seems to be enough. Okay, so this now goes in here, and there's a circle on the bottom, a hole in the bottom for the cog to go into. So it's quite a snug fit. So drop that into place. That's it. And now I've got holes in the lid, holes in the bit I just put in, and holes in the base. That should all line up nicely. Yep, and they do, for me to put the screws in. Now there's the 2 brass screws, round head. It's very easy with these to damage the tops because they're only brass, so make sure your screwdriver is a decent size to get a nice firm position in the cap. Just tighten that one a little bit, and the same with the other one, because you don't want to damage the heads, especially if they're all original. You want to keep it all that way if you can. A bit of fingers and thumbs here. Let's go around the next one. If these were done on piecework, I wouldn't have made much money, would I? If it would have been my job. Okay, now I'm not tightening that up yet because I've got to get the striker in. But, oh, it's nice spark already. Then that's sorted. Give that a little bit more of a turn. Be careful. Just make sure that still strikes, that's fine. Now the 2 original washers, seals in here were, well, they look a bit crusty, and they might have asbestos in, so I've got some new ones to put in. So one goes in there, and then I've cleaned the glass as well with methylated spirits, so the glass goes back on, and then there's 2 gauzes, one goes inside the other, washer goes on top, and then the top bell, whatever you want to call it, I'm not quite sure the technical name, but that goes on there. Now there's a rod that drops down, see it, we got down. You can't put the top on if that rod's up, so you've got to make sure the rod's down. And the new washers I'll put in are a bit thicker than the old ones, so I don't want to over tighten it. Yeah, that goes up, that's fine. So it's not quite down as far as it was before. You can see a little bit of the rim, but I'm happy with that because it means it will be safe. Now I've already changed the wick in here as well. Took the old wick out. Now the wick, length of the wick is adjusted using the adjustable wheel on the bottom. That moves that up and down to expose more or less of the wick. As I've said, you want a little as wick as you can use. Now push this right up to make it easier. So I've got to get that through there. I've already filled up the tank with Colin's fuel. It's got felt in there to absorb the fuel. So with a bit of luck, I filled up last night, that'll all gone in there and it will have all soaked up to the wick, and that'll be ready to rock and roll. So close the cap, ready to go. Pull out the striker. Nearly. There you go. Prime lit, type 6 protector lamp, and to put it out, hit the bottom. There you go, Dennis. I'll give you that next week. See you, folks.